So I decided today that I want to embark on a new adventure. For me, it's called the Bilvavi adventure. And the idea is that I was just looking into my heart, and I really love the Sefer Bilvavi Mishkan Evneh. To me, I've learned a lot of Hashkafas Farim, and this is the one that right now is opening up my heart to go to totally new places of spirituality and connection to God. And so just on a personal level, I thought it would be a good practice to review my learning, my daily learning, through a short YouTube video. And that'll give me myself motivation to learn well and to do a good Chazara review. And I thought maybe I'll post it in case if someone else in the world also wants to have a quick review, a short inspirational idea. So that's going to be sharing these videos. And the question is, there's a lot of great rabbis out there learning Bilvavi and even sharing YouTube and YU Torah Shirim about it. So why am I bothering? It's a great question. So again, it's on a personal level. I just want to review. And maybe there's a Jew out there who connects to my derech and, personal to me personally and likes the way that I teach it. So I thought, who knows, even just myself or one Jew or one non-Jew who likes this, it's worth posting. So I hope you enjoy it. And obviously I bless you to learn the Sefer inside. They have it in Hebrew, they have it in English. It's much better when you learn it inside. Obviously you could connect to the author himself and his Torah on a much higher level, but this is meant to be a short review, hopefully provide a little bit of inspiration. So the first idea that the Bilvavi talks about is the idea of davening before we start a project. He says we need to pray that when we're learning the Sefer, that it will be l'shem shamayim, and that our avodat Hashem will be ritzuya, will be desired in God's eyes. Because nothing really succeeds without prayer. It might look like on a physical level things succeed without prayer, but on a spiritual level, on a real level, only when we open ourselves up through davening can our projects really connect to God's higher ratzon. That's something that I've personally seen many times in my life. When I remember to daven before I do something, not only do I see that it's physically more successful, I'll win the game more often or whatever, but I just feel like it's much more connected to the ratzon of Hashem and it flows better. So try it for yourself. Actually, Rabbi Nachman Mibrasav also talks about before you learn Torah, it's very important to daven. It shouldn't just be an intellectual exercise, but it should be a spiritual exercise. And Rav Shlomo Karbach, before he would do a concert, talks about how we would say a pasuk, Noach matzachen b'nei Adonai, that it should be to find favor in the eyes of God, not just no ego involved. We find this with many of our sages, that it's important. Even by Gandhi, I was watching a documentary about Gandhi, and he would always start off his meetings with a prayer. So I was thinking, wow, how come in some yeshivos we don't start off our meetings with a prayer? Gandhi was doing it. We should do it too. I remember I was riding a bus in Africa once with my wife, and they said a tefillat haderech before they journeyed. In their language, their tefillat haderech. And I said, wow, they can say it out loud, proud on the bus. We also can say a tefillah on our derech, loud and proud. One day, in the Israeli buses, it'll be a thing. Any case, so I want to put out a tefillah that this project and all of our spiritual projects, especially this journey, should be successful and should be just to make Hashem happy in His world. So I'm not going to say every single line for line, but I'll summarize the Bilvavi. The first point he really talks about in this Sefer, the second part of Bilvavi Mishkan Evneh, is this idea that the world is a lashon of he'elem. Olam means he'elem, means hidden. God is hidden in this world. And our job as Jews is to find Him, to search for Him, and to reveal Him to the world. I say this, it means a lot to me. Right now in Papua, so I have a little free time, we're on a little bit of shlichus, and we're telling these beautiful Jews who are finding God in their own way in the middle of no one around them believes in this stuff, that you guys can't just do this. You gotta spread the light. You gotta find God and spread it, the oneness of God, to anyone who's willing to listen. So we gotta search for God. But the problem is that there's so many things to focus on. Should I focus on learning this Torah? Should I learn 12 hours a day of Gemara, Halacha, this Musar Sefer, that one? What should I focus on? Chesed, davening. I don't know where to start. I remember I used to go in high school to the YU library, Gottesman Library, and they had so many amazing Sfarim. I used to take a pile of 10 Sfarim, and I didn't know which one to learn first because there was just so many, so I just wouldn't end up learning anything because I was too overwhelmed. So I would just say the first thing is to pick one. Pick one that you connect to and focus on that. It's a Yetzer Hara that said, there's too much to do, I can't do anything, it's too hard. No, pick one and focus on it. So personally, I feel like there's so much Torah to learn, but I really love this Bilvavi Mishkan Evneh Sefer. When I learn it, when I start off my day with Bilvavi, my whole day flows differently. So I want to focus on this right now. After I'm done with this project, I'll focus on another project, but don't get overwhelmed. So what does Bilvavi say we should focus on? So he says, the Gemara in Makot quotes Chabakuk. Chabakuk teaches us, Tzadik be'emunato yichyeh. A tzaddik, through his emunah, he will live. Through his emunah. Which means that to be a true tzaddik is someone who focuses on emunah, on faith, on connection to God. And some people make a mistake. They think that emunah is something you learn. You go to a essentials seminar, you read a Hashkafa Ari Kaplan book, and you think, yeah, I believe in God. I got all that stuff down. Now I can focus on more important things. But he says it's not true. We need to constantly be reminding ourselves about our emunah, because emunah is not something we know. It's emunah is something we have to live, we have to feel. And so a tzaddik is defined by the amount of emunah that he's living and he's feeling. We need to constantly remind ourselves about these principles. He thinks, the author believes that this is the first thing we should focus on Jews, on strengthening our emunah. As Rav Yecheskel Levenstein wrote, he said, for years and years and years, I've been giving Musar about emunah, faith, connection to God. But I feel like if I stop focusing on it, if there's a hesach hadas, I automatically go down a level. And I need to constantly remind myself about it. And that's also something I personally feel when I'm not reminding myself of these principles that this Sefer talks about. I feel like my connection goes down, so I need to constantly, maybe even just through a short YouTube video, whatever, but everything, a little bit every day, remind myself about the principles of Emunah. So to summarize, talked about opening our day with the tefillah, opening our spiritual projects with the tefillah. We talked about the importance of focusing on Emunah as our first project in order to find God in this crazy hidden world. I hope you found this meaningful and useful. Please let me know if you did. It will encourage me. And I bless you and the whole world with a day full of light, joy, tefillah, and happiness. Have a great day. Good Shabbos.